Hey guys, it's Josh. Welcome to the next video of the Let's Read the Silmarillion series. In the last video that I just recorded, like not even 5 minutes or so ago, maybe an hour ago, I don't know. Very bad at time because I'm not feeling well. We talked about the coming of the elves from Quenta, crossing over the Anduin River, the Misty Mountains, into Balerion. Some of the elves got sundered because some of the elves were like, fuck this noise, I ain't getting involved with this journey. Some were like afraid because Melkor was like, hey guys, you want to know why you shouldn't be friends with the Valar? Well, they're going to try to kidnap you. And that's not good. But I will keep you safe. When in actuality he was transforming them into orcs. Fuck Melkor. Sorry. Also, some of the elves during the journey was like, you know what, I want to be in the lands where there's stars, and I can't see them because of this goddamn smoke from the war, so... yeah. But anyways, there's that. Also, Melkor finally got captured, but with a caveat. Because, see, in the last chapter, it talked about how Melkor was, like, imprisoned for 3 long ages. Okay, fine, whatever. But he can, like, make an appeal of sorts to the Valar to try to, like, you know, get released from his imprisonment. And, yeah. I'm not going to spoil anything, but just keep that in mind. Anyways, on to Chapter 4 of Thingol and Melion. Melion was a Maya of the race of the Valar. She dwelt in the gardens of Lorien. Not that Lorien. Different Lorien. Not the one in Middle-earth. Lorien is the garden in Aman, where people who are weary can go and get rest and stuff. She dwelt in the gardens of Lorien, and among all his people there were none more beautiful than Melion, nor more wise, nor more skilled in songs and enchantments. It is told that the Valar would leave their works, and the birds of Valinor their mirth. Wait, hold on. It is told that the Valar would leave their works, and the birds of Valinor their mirth, that the bells of Valmor were silent, and the fountains ceased to flow. When at the mingling of the lights, Melion sang in Lorien. Again, not that Lorien. Different Lorien. Although there is a Valar that is also known as Lorien. Not that person. And also not Lothlorien. The gardens of Lorien are in Valinor. Just wanted to make sure that was, like, clear. Nightingales went always with her, and she taught them their song, and she loved the deep shadows of the great trees. She was akin before the world was made to Yavanna herself. So she's a kinswoman of Yavanna. And in that time, when the Quendi awoke beside the waters of Quivienin, she departed from Valinor, and came to the Hitherlands, and there she filled the silence of Middle-earth before the dawn with her voice, and the voices of her birds. So, here's an instance where we have a Maya basically being all like, okay, you know what, I want to see Middle-earth, I want to see these elves, they're, from what I hear, they're very pretty. So, yeah, I'm a bounce, as it were. So she comes to Middle-earth, and is like, okay, I don't hear any music, I don't see anything that's, like, you know, alive, so Birds, work your magic with your song and stuff. Now, when their journey was near its end, as has been told, the people of the Teleri rested long in East Beleriand, beyond the river Gelion, and at that time many of the Noldor still lay to the westward in those forests that were afterwards named Neldoreth and Region, or Region, however you want to pronounce it. Elwë, Lord of the Teleri, remember Elwë is important, went often through the great woods to seek out Finwë, his friend, in the dwellings of the Noldor. And it chanced on a time that he came alone to the starlit woods of Non Elmoth. Keep that name in memory. Another name that is important. And there suddenly he heard the song of nightingales. Then an enchantment fell on him, and he stood still, and afar off beyond the voices of the Lomelindi, he heard the voice of Melion, and it filled all his heart with wonder and desire. He forgot utterly all his people and all the purposes of his mind, and following the birds under the shadow of the trees, he passed deep into Non Elmoth and was lost. But he came at last to a glade open to the stars, and there Melion stood, and out of the darkness he looked at her, and the light of Amon was on her face. You may recall from the last video when I said that Orome had a light that shone from his face when he came to see the elves and to essentially rescue them from Melkor. Yeah, essentially Melion and all beings of the Valar, I would assume, have this trait of having a light that shines from their being. So it's like, oh, you're too holy, I can't look upon you. Kind of like how in the Bible, when God spoke to Moses, like Moses had to shield his face because he felt he was unworthy, which admittedly, because of the fall of man, humanity in general is unworthy to see the presence of God unless they have a special relationship with God. But that's besides the point. I'm not going to get into a religious thing, because, like, while I am religious, I'm not, one to start a religious controversy in the comment section. So yeah, let's continuing on. She spoke no word, but being filled with love, Elwë came to her and took her hand, and straightway a spell was laid on him, so that they stood thus while long years were measured, while by the wheeling of the stars above them, and the trees of Non Elmoth grew tall and dark before they spoke any word. Thus Elwë's folk, who sought him, found him not, and Olwë took the kingship of the Teleri and departed, as is told hereafter. Elwë Singolo came never again across the sea to Valinor, so long as he lived, and Melion returned not thither while their realm together lasted. But of her there came among both elves and men a strain of the Ainur, who were with the Iluvatar before Ea. In after days he became a king renowned, and his people were all the Eldar of Beleriand, the Sindar. This is where we get the Sindar. They were named the Grey Elves, the Elves of the Twilight, and King Greymantle was he. Eleuthingol is the tongue of that land, in the tongue of that land. So Elwë becomes King Eleuthingol, better known as King Thingol of Doriath. And Melian was his queen, wiser than any child of Middle-earth. And their hidden halls were in Menegroth, the Thousand Caves, in Doriath. Great power Melian lent to Thingol, who was himself great among the Eldar, for he alone, of all the Sindar, had seen with his own eyes the trees in the days of their flowering, and king though he was of Umanyor, he was not accounted among the Moraquendi, but with the elves of the light, mighty upon Middle-earth. And of the love of Thingol and Melian, there came into the world the fairest of all the children of Iluvatar that was or shall ever be. I will get chapters 5 and 6 read up really quick. I just gotta take care of something. I will see you all in the next video. Leave your comments in this video and the previous video, and hopefully this series will take off more quickly as soon as I can, not feel sick and not deal with, college, like, making me feel meh. Anyways, hope y'all are doing well. May God bless you. See you in the next video. Bye!